Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Jacob Dickey here in the Weather Center for you. We've got Seth out in the storm tracker here this afternoon. Just wanted to give you an update. So far in central Illinois, we have been fine. However, in just across the state line in Indiana, a couple of tornado warnings have come about. So I figured I'd hop on real quick to talk about what we are and where we are seeing things here. First off, Seth is in the storm tracker. He's down, I think, by the Georgetown area. So that's his live shot now. He just pulled off, it looks like, because of the rain. And we'll keep an eye on him. He's probably going to stay down there from Westville area, I think is where he's at. So we watch some of these storms cross the state line. So far in central Illinois, no tornado warnings. Remember, if there is a tornado warning in your specific location, right here, that WCI3 weather app, you can download that and take a peek. It'll allow you to access information and alerts. If you search your Apple and Android devices, you can find that for just search WCIA3 weather. That is different than the news app. A couple of tornado warnings here. First off, this is in West Indiana. Here's the state line. So not far northeast from Danville, just north of Covington, a storm moving towards Logan and Briscoe, heading across US 41. That'll be Fountain County, Indiana. And I think that's where Attica is as well. Attica, Indiana is close by. Where is that at? Attica, somewhere in this area here. Anyways, that's going to be where we are watching one of these storms. And that's moving off to the north and east. Yeah, so Attica, really it says Logan. That should be Attica. Logan's a little spot on the other side, Williamsport there. So this is going to be coming through Logan, Attica, Williamsport, moving off to the north and east, really hugging the river there as it moves through. And then we've got another tornado warning in southeastern Benton County. That's going to be east of Boswell, southeast of Fowler, right close to US 52. And that will continue to move off to the east. Now at this point, we look at the rotation in here. There's a little bit of rotation right near the Bolivar, the Forsman area, east of Oak Grove. That's been moving kind of east and northeast. Further down the line, then, for our storm that's now approaching the Attica area right now, West Lebanon, there's Fountain. That's Attica right here. Southwest of Attica on the river will carry off to the east and northeast. We'll come close to Attica, maybe more, maybe a little more Attica. I wouldn't rule out to the south. Shawnee and Newtown, not officially in that warning, but still worth watching as we keep an eye there. And then further down, we've been keeping an eye on these storms. So far, and it's lucky for us, is these storms have crossed the state line into Indiana and then started to really tap into some of those ingredients and spin up more. We don't see much in the way of concern for the Georgetown, Ridge Farm, Westville areas at this point. Nothing obvious or evident coming out. And even the Chrisman area, parts of Edgar County, we'll watch. There might be a chance for something to try and take hold a little further down here. But there's not really much in the way of organization. Maybe a little strong storm there east of Westfield to carry off to the north and east. And so that's what we will watch here. Just a little slim area now. Really, behind this line, I think we're pretty much done with the severe threats. So we're all clear in Champaign, all clear in Tuscola, Mattoon, Charleston. But Vermilion, Edgar County, and then our West Indiana counties is where we will be watching primarily for that. With, again, those two tornado warnings there. There probably will be a tornado watch that comes out. And my suspicion is it'll be for the West Indiana counties. Probably not for our area if it comes out, but we will watch that and keep an eye on things here. All right, we got Seth. I don't have him live, but we will check where he is. I'm just getting some information here from him, kind of coordinating with him. I'm going to send him back north to Danville. And yeah, so Warren, Fountain, Benton County, Indiana is where we're watching those here. So we've got some friends in Attica and friends there for those areas. I know there's some folks that are watching probably in that area. I know Covington North, Petersburg North. We still have viewers out there, WCI viewers that far. They tend to watch where things are. And so seeing that here. So that's kind of what we are. So it looks okay right now. Georgetown, Chrisman to be over Forest Glen. here west, the Grape Creek area, west of, or to the east of Grape Creek, over Forest Glen, some rain and some storms there. Lightning has been okay. At this point, I'm not too concerned. Nice little storm on the north side of Crispin as well, up there towards Ridge Farm at the county line. It'll be where 150 curves there before you get to the county line. Right up there is December 2021. Actually, they had a tornado come through that area, but don't see anything quite like that today, thankfully. But a lot of the activity here is in the Indiana side of things, so that's some good news. Let's check and see where you're watching from. I know we'll get people who are in the chat a lot. We got about 450 of you or so. See if anyone is watching in West Indiana. And looks like folks are reporting a lot of rain. That's for sure something that we've got going on. So that is where we are. Okay, I'm going to pop Seth up real quick, just so you can see where he's at. He's kind of in the Westville area, moving east, and is continuing to watch those storms, kind of carrying them to the state line. And once he does that, then we'll kind of be finished with that. So he's out, and then he should be back in time for the news at 6 here. But just in case, we'll see what happens and watch there. So again, Seth now moving to the east from Westville. Might take a left turn here and go north. He's going to try and sneak back to the interstate. My thought is that he's going to probably catch back up to the interstate on the east side of Danville, close to the state line. So once this line of storms exits, that's what we'll watch and see here. So I'm thinking he's kind of getting in position, and we'll see what he does. So with that, I just want to give you this little update here on some of these storms. We'll cut some of the lightning. I don't have any cameras in that area. I don't have any reports of tornadoes at this point either. They just updated that tornado warning. Looks like it'll be red line, center line towards Attica, Williamsport, and rotation there still fairly strong. I'm pretty impressed with that. And that may carry, I'll be honest, Attica sits right here. Williamsport's right there. This is probably an Attica and Williamsport issue. Carbondale up in Indiana, West Lebanon, we're clear now. Even Winthrop might be a little too far north. I think this is really going to hug the river for the most part. So if you know someone over in Attica, Indiana, might send them a text and say, hey, be weather aware. That's going to be US 41 goes north-south, and then Indiana 28 comes from west-east. Indiana 28 is the extension of from Bismarck, Illinois 119 east. And so that rotation pretty strong here now between Fountain and Attica, right in Fountain County and in the for Fountain, Warren County areas here. That doesn't include Covington, doesn't include Petersburg. And as I kind of pivot back to the south here, not much in the way of rotation. Maybe that storm trying to pull us up by Crispin, but it's not at this point concerning to me, but we will watch it closely, and then we'll keep an eye there west of Paris as we use all of our radars to kind of scan things here. I do want to talk about the rain. First off, as far as flooding goes, still got the flood watch for Ford, Iroquois, and Livingston County. For the most part, it does seem like a lot of the heavy rain has exited the region here, and I'll put the last 12 hours. Had a really heavy stripe. We thought somewhere in central Illinois could get that 6+ inch mark, and the place that did that was Paxton, Loda, off to the east towards Cissna Park, and eventually towards Milford. That pink color there, an indication that there's been some really tremendously heavy rain. And we did get some 6+ inch reports in that area from rain gauges, so a 4 to 6 inch stripe with roads closed due to flooding in Paxton, Loda, and in Milford. And I know Cissna Park floods pretty bad. It doesn't take much to cause their flooding there, so they may have some flooding reports I just have not seen in that area. But that is where the heaviest rain has been. We also did have some rain this morning off to the west, and let me just back it up to the 48-hour storm total rainfall. A lot of rain there where Illinois, Missouri, and Iowa come together. Had some 5-inch report in northern Logan County, but the heaviest by and large. A few of us were unlucky and got that 4 to 6 inch, 6+ inches reported in a few places by rain gauge, so that certainly is something that we have seen. Okay, back to radar here. Just going to navigate with Seth. So yeah, just kind of keeping an eye on that. But we've only got 2 tornado warnings, and they're just outside of our area. Probably to me, the most concerning spot is this storm southwest of Attica, Indiana. And again, that's outside of our area, but I tell you what, I know we've got some legacy viewers in that area. A lot of West Indiana folks. We keep those 5 counties there. You know, they're on the Indianapolis television market, but they are, they watch to the west. Storms come from the west, go east, so they're always watching us because Texans there. They watch because storms come from that way, and we know that there's probably a few viewers that are in that area. So if you're in the Indiana area, that'd be curious to see. I will say in the last minute or two, a couple of minutes here, that feature near Covington showing some more signs of organization, and if trends hold, typically what we've seen is cross that magic state line, and there's nothing really that magical about it, but it seems like storms have held off until the state line before crossing Indiana to spin. That might be another storm to watch as it moves to the north and east. Might be something to be a little more leery of. So Covington northeast, and kind of watch that, and I'm keeping an eye as well. These cells, there's not much there. This one northeast of Crispin's about into Indiana as well. That'd be near Cayuga, Indiana before long. And I've gotten plenty of reports from that area, so I know there's viewers there as well. But certainly, I was a little nervous. I thought, we're right on the line between tornadoes and no tornadoes in our area, and we were with that I-57 east. They started to develop, and just barely east enough to avoid that. But the flooding threat really panned out as expected here. That tornado threat may end up holding and being a problem for the Indiana side before all is said and done. So that is what we are dealing with. Looks like there's some new flood advisories and flood warnings in the Indiana side as well. The good news here, I know folks are probably rain weary, is that at this point, rain on the Fort Iroquois, Livingston County is probably finished. At this point, you can almost see here as it's through the last 3 hours, you see the storms start to intensify as they move east of Champaign there, that swirl pulling away. Still some light shower activity, eastern Livingston, northern Ford, and northern half Iroquois County. Storms still backbuilding a little bit towards Crispin and south and west there, but that real optimal place is right east of that little low, and so this is probably your, that's a really terrible circle. Let me draw that again. This here is probably your zone to watch for the rest of the afternoon, maybe even a little further south into Indiana, which is good news. So that's good for us, where we are probably mainly okay in our central Illinois area. Now, I will say this. Today's threat was a tornado threat. It was conditional. The storms are just far enough east where, hey, that's a win on our part. We still have tomorrow's severe weather to go. Tomorrow will be more of a wind threat, and I expect a lot more impacts from that than I did today. You know, tornadoes and wind, of course, different things. You get a tornado, that's obviously going to do more damage to your place, but usually that's in a smaller area. Wind threat tomorrow might be something to watch for a lot more of us here. Let me just go ahead and pull Future Track and kind of talk you through. You know, through the night into tomorrow, there might be some cloud cover out there. You'll notice then as we go into Sunday afternoon, maybe a few spot showers. Eventually, probably Sunday afternoon, late into Sunday evening, we will see a complex of storms start to take foot. And tomorrow's going to be warm too. Upper 80s is what we think on the board. That will continue its push to the east. It'll be out of here fairly quickly. Could be some wind problems with that. And then Monday is going to have some rainy, showery weather, it seems like, as that low swings into the backside. Before Tuesday, we dry things out. Maybe a little fog to start Tuesday, so that's the good news. We'll say this. The tornado threat is pretty much today. I think that's going to come down a little bit for tomorrow. You know, we'll watch. That threat probably tomorrow is more focused on the wind, and the flooding threat's been there today as well. We've had, again, roads closed in Paxton, in Milford, in Loda, probably Cissna Park, but I haven't heard any information on that. Hail threat, not really concerned, but the wind tomorrow will probably be more of the factor. The tornado threat seems to be more today. I'm not saying tomorrow won't have a tornado, but that will be what we will watch is that wind threat, which typically typically can impact more folks here in the region. So that's a look at the map. Again, we got that flash flood warning continuing for eastern Ford and southern Iroquois County, flood watch for Livingston, Ford, Iroquois, Benton County, and then those 2 tornado warnings, Benton, Warren, and far northern Fountain County. I saw someone saying they're in Kingman, Indiana, nothing going on there. Not yet. I think you'll get some storms, but the tornado warning is closer to the Attica area, way up north part of the county, so you'll be seeing some soon here. Kingman is, see, it pops up there or not. It doesn't look like it does. But the more centered here, looks like to me that rotation is probably close to, if not on top of Attica. And I don't see as much in southeastern Benton County. That warning should expire here in like 5 minutes or so. We'll keep an eye there. Still weak east of Covington. Still some spots to watch further down the line, but we think we're probably going to scrape on by, which is good news. We like that. That will be good for us here. So a lot of folks on the Illinois side are, what about me? Well, the good news is Springfield, really even Decatur, Bloomington normal. We're never really in the greater threat for severe weather. Champaign-Urbana, we were under that threat. It seems like it's east of us. Don't expect any problems for Champaign-Urbana. We're all done for the day in Tuscola. Finished in Mattoon, Charleston. Even Effingham is done. It's this line that backbuilds here, far southeastern Vermilion County. There might be some more tornado warnings to come for parts of Fountain, Vermilion County, Indiana, but not for Illinois. There's been an attempt at some convection, but that core of the energy for tornadoes needed seems to be along and north of I-74. We'll be crossing I-65 in the Lafayette area. And again, we'll kind of hand that off to Indianapolis TV, hand that off to our friends in the Lafayette TV market. But I wanted to just jump on digital and talk about it. And also talk about that flooding threat too, because that's been a problem for a number of us here in the region. I'm going to jump back here. I'm going to just check something. The one thing we do struggle with in this part of the world is that radar is really high up. I mean, we're either Chicago, Indianapolis, or Lincoln. And the radar just isn't able to get the best view of things this far away. And so it might be, I'll switch to the Indianapolis one here. And I don't see anything, sign of debris in that. As I switch to my velocity, I would say that rotation is probably squarely over Attica, but it doesn't seem like it's on the ground. Doesn't mean it's not on the ground, but I just can't really get a good view. That radar's scanning 5, 6, 7, 8,000 feet up. There's a lot of real estate between there and the ground, so we'll see if that's the case. So another little spot here. If there's anything, it'd be here northeast of Scotland. That's about to cross in. A little spot south of Perrysville, Indiana, so that's the good news is on the Illinois side. There's a number of you that are probably watching on TV at the golf tournament. We were like, oh, please don't let us interrupt the golf tournament. And that has been good that we haven't had to do that. But you see the bug in the corner. It does say tornado warning, so there's probably some folks saying, well, what's going on? What do I need to, what's going on? So we just do a little digital work here on this side and keep an eye on it. So that's what we have here. Again, it's kind of, it's super hard to tell. And I'll try the sweeping radar here to get Indianapolis to work. Indianapolis has been having a little trouble with the radar in our department. But right there on the back side is where that rotation would be. And be right over Attica, Indiana at this point. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sign off. We're done probably for the day for pretty much all of us here. It would take a stroke of luck to make something happen in the Illinois side, but seems like we're going to hand this off to our Indiana friends, which not good for them, obviously, but that's good news. So if needed, we'll check back in, but I don't think we will. Seth should maybe be back here by 6. If not, you'll catch me in the news at 6. And then from there, we will watch for tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow night and see what happens. So with that, thanks for logging on here for a little afternoon coverage, a little extra coverage here. And we will watch from afar as maybe unsettled afternoon for our Indiana friends. So that's what we got. Thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your night.